If you're in the resale business, if you don't make anything, you just buy and resell it, your size will be determined, as the case with manufacturers, based on the number of people you employ, not on your revenue, which allows many companies to be counted as small that might not otherwise qualify. We looked at a number of examples and found some disturbing ones. For example, one business was awarded a contract for, quote, other computer peripheral equipment manufacturing, which lets businesses count up to 1,000 employees before it's no longer considered small, even though the business wasn't manufacturing a single thing. That business had a $3 million contract to sell toner to the government. So all it was doing was performing a middleman function, selling toner, printer toner, to the government, and they were counted as a manufacturing under the much higher standard. Well, how can you justify that?
You know, we ask an agency for supply contracts to assign the NAICS code. To be eligible for a set-aside, the firm must manufacture the product of a small business. But you're right, the non-manufacturer size standard is 500 employees. So it is an issue that we look at quite a bit. When do we grant non-manufacturer waivers? How do we make sure that we have small businesses in the process wherever they can compete and provide the government the best value? But yeah, it is definitely an issue that we continue to look at.
Why in the world would you use the standards for manufacturing that is much, much higher? There's no reason to do that unless you are trying to pigeonhole people into a small business category that really aren't a small business category. And it seems to me that this, you know, it's as plain as the nose on your face, that this doesn't work. I need a better answer than this is just the way we do it, because all this does is, once again, skew the numbers in a way that, in the long run, harms small businesses, because everybody gets complacent and fat and happy that we're making our 23% goal, when in reality, we've got a monster-sized company that's just selling toner that's beating out a whole lot of small businesses that might be able to sell that toner for the same price. There could be some coding issues that would be hard to maybe pick which one, but, I mean, I can't imagine one that would be much easier than figuring out where somebody's building, whether they're repairing airplanes or building airplanes. I mean, those are not kissing cousins. I mean, either you're putting an airplane together from scratch and selling it, or you're not. I really do think one of the things that government does not do well is deter. I think we put up with sloppiness because we're overwhelmed by the workload, and many times when there are bad actors, we don't react swiftly enough or strongly enough, and that is something that does deter. I mean, as an old prosecutor, there's crimes you can deter and there's crimes you can't deter. You all are in an area where you can deter a lot of bad activity by the way you handle the code shopping, by the way you handle misrepresentation of size, by the way you handle some of the twisting and turning that goes on in order to try to shoehorn businesses into a small business category.